It's the 757 at 6, talking local high school and college sports on your number one local sports station, ESPN Radio 94.1.
And welcome back here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Matt Hatfield here with you. It's the 757 at 6. And at this time, we're joined by a special guest. He is a defensive lineman in the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. Won a national championship with the Ohio State University Buckeyes and has a free football camp coming to his alma mater, Lake Taylor, on June the 22nd. How's She Gonna Eat is what it's called. Free camp again for ages 11 to 17, 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Register at JalynHolmesFootballCamp.com. And we say hello to Jalyn Holmes. Jalyn, how you doing out there? How's life in Minnesota?
It's pretty well. I'm in Columbus right now, though.
Oh, you're in Columbus. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Columbus right now.
Well, tell me, city, state, up there, the Twin Cities, I've never been there. I'm sure a lot of our listeners haven't been. How different is it from when you lived in Virginia, and how different is it from the college days in Ohio?
Well, it's kind of Minneapolis is kind of like Columbus in a way, really. Kind of really a lot similar. It's just the weather really like, once it get cold in Minnesota, it's cold. You're dealing with negative 15 degrees in the wintertime type stuff.
I hear you. Now, your first reaction about literally 14 months ago, we had you here in studio, and you were getting ready for the NFL draft, and you heard your name called the next week in the 4th round by the Minnesota Vikings. What was your reaction when you got that phone call and you were actually drafted by the NFL?
It's hard to explain. When people ask you that, I can't really put it in words. It's just like your dreams is calling your phone in a way. I just know I was real emotional about it, but it's just real. I really can't put it in words how I felt when I got that phone call.
Going from the college game to the NFL, were there some parallels when you look back at it when you went from Lake Taylor to Ohio State, or was it totally different making that jump to the pro level?
It was a little bit different. The game's a lot faster. Everything is a lot technique-based, and it's really the game of inches when it comes to the NFL, man. Especially when dealing as a defensive lineman, you really can be 1 second away from making a play and 1 second away from not making the play. So it's really a game of inches. And I want to say the NFL just more detailed the higher you go.
What was the biggest thing you learned about the NFL in 1 year that you didn't know going in? Like, I had no idea about this.
It really wasn't. I feel like Ohio State kind of really prepared me for a lot of stuff. I wasn't really thrown off about a lot of things. Something I knew about, but I didn't know how it really was until I, actually faced it myself. Was just the speed of the game. It actually is it was a lot faster for me. So I knew about it, but I didn't ever went through it before. So when I actually had like my first couple plays in the league, I was still in shock about it, even though I knew about it. If that made any sense. Yeah,
it does. Were you put through any of the rookie hazing?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Can you tell it, or are you not allowed to tell it?
Yeah, we could. It wasn't bad. I had a good group of vets. Just buying candy and getting breakfast sandwiches. Nothing bad at all. Carrying helmets.
But you're ready to do it to the rookie this year, aren't you?
Nah, I ain't gonna do it to him.
You got to wait till you're about 4 or 5 years in, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking with Jalyn Holmes out of Norfolk's Lake Taylor High School, our guest on the 757 at 6 on ESPN Radio 94.1, a national champion with the Ohio State Buckeyes, and now going into year 2 in the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings. And he has his football camp coming to Lake Taylor on June 22nd. How's She Gonna Eat? Tell the folks, you briefly touched on it last year when you were with us, Jalyn, how that title came up, How's She Gonna Eat, and the story behind How's She Gonna Eat.
Yeah, so it just all developed with, just an inside joke with the fellow D lineman I played with at Ohio State. It just blew up from there. The student section got a hold of it, and it just magnified throughout the whole campus. And the students, that was basically a way that the students can engage with us on the football field, that we can engage with other students around campus. So really, now we actually made an LLC, and I'm part owner of our How She Gonna Eat company. So we just blessed to have it.
That is so cool, and it really took on a life of its own, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Now, what inspired you to do the camp, and how important was it for you to come back home?
So just growing up, it was different camps that, different people had, and I just remember going to Chancellor's camp as a kid and the cookouts that he used to have, and I just always told myself, like, when I get to the NFL, I'm going to do something like this. So to have it back in my high school that I played football at and went to school at is a blessing. It's humbling for me, and I'm just glad I can do it.
And you got a former teammate, Lake Taylor, Mike Tyson's also putting on a camp in July, I see, at Lake Taylor. Are you keep in touch with him much?
Yeah, man. We talk all the time. I actually was just talking to him yesterday, and yes, he's having his camp July 20th, a month after mine, and I feel like it's just kids from that area should take full advantage of those two camps. It's a camp a month, one in June and one in July, and I know he's feeling the same way I feel about it. We just blessed that we can do it, and we humble about the opportunity to have to give back to our community.
Well, it's really awesome to see you guys give back. And Mike was with the Houston Texans, made a dent with them. Now he's a division rival for you with the Green Bay Packers, I see.
Yeah, he is.
So you got to talk some trash with him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I told him he went with the cheese.
What do you want a kid to take away from your camp or remember when they go to it? What do you want the kids to take away from that experience?
I just want the kids to have fun, compete, show their best ability. You know, I'm all about that. Just to see that, you know, that they can do the same thing that I'm doing now for my community. That they can one day to throw a camp of their own when they make it to the league. To show them that it's possible, and I'm going to bring a couple teammates from Ohio State out there too, just to see different guys, and just want them to know that they can do this as well.
Oh, that's really cool. And you're not that far removed, in fact, from dominating at some camps. You were really a standout at the Best of the 757 camp years ago and the Rivals camp. So I imagine those things, as players and even young kids, they get up for that because of the competition, right?
Yeah, they do, man. I done had a couple kids, like, DM me on Instagram talking trash to me, which is what I enjoy. You know, I want that. You know, I want the kids to be fired up and be ready to compete because, I mean, just getting them ready for college, that's exactly how it's going to be in college. You got to compete in front, you know, got to be the man in front of you.
Absolutely. We're talking with Jalyn Holmes of the NFL's Minnesota Vikings, our guest here on the 757 at 6 on ESPN Radio 94.1. He's got his house you're going to eat football camp coming to Lake Taylor High School, his alma mater, on June the 22nd. Again, you go to JalynHolmesFootballCamp.com to register. It's free for kids ages 11 to 17, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll have the flyer brochure up on our Twitter pages, too, on 757 at 6, ESPN Radio 941, HS Sports Talk 941, and my own at Hatfield Sports for people out there, too. If you want to just go click the link direct to it later, it's ESPN Radio 94.1. As we go back to some football topics with you, Jalyn, your last sack in college, if I'm not mistaken, was Sam Darnold of USC in a 24-7 win over the Trojans in the Cotton Bowl. And then your first sack in the pros was in a 37-17 win over the Jets, taking none other than Darnold down. I'm guessing the pro sack was more memorable of the two?
Yeah, that was my first one, man. That was my baby. That was my first one. It was a great moment for me, man, and to get that sack. And it is ironic that it had to be him, but yeah, I'm glad I got that off.
Darnold's got to be happy not to see the Vikings on the schedule here in 2019. Did you know, like, before it happened, did you, like, see it, how it developed? What's going through your mind as the plays get ready to snap and then when you know it's going to actually happen? I
mean, I just really trusted my technique that I, you know, been working on all week in practice, and I just reacted. It's kind of hard to explain what I did. I just reacted and just lived in that moment and made a play.
Take me through a little bit of what's the daily life now for you guys in the NFL. It's the month of June as we speak. What's it kind of Monday through Friday for you on weekend? Give me sort of the daily itinerary. You don't have to give me hour by hour here, but what's kind of like through the life of Jalyn Holmes, the football player, if you can?
Well, I know we don't really go on Mondays, but Tuesdays, you know, we'll work out. We'll have a team meeting, workout. Then we'll watch film individually, like with the groups, different position groups, and then we'll practice. After practice, we have another meeting after practice, and that's really it. Now, you know, I'm a father now, so after that, I go home, get my son right, watch film, and do it all over again.
Oh, wow. Congrats to you as a father. What's the little guy's name?
Jalen.
Jalen. Oh, so Jalen Jr., huh?
Jalen the second.
All right. You got to get the jerseys, I'm sure, for him pretty soon.
Yeah, you know I am.
I initially thought you were the only Virginia guy on the Vikings roster, but then I realized there's another in safety, Anthony Harris from UVA at LC Bird High in Chesterfield. You guys ever banter about Virginia football?
Yep. He's actually my locker mate.
Is he?
Yeah.
I want to say the LT Titans and the LCB Skyhawks split during your high school days, if memory serves me right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you get him? Was that your senior year?
I didn't know he went to LC Bird until a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. I knew he was from Richmond, but I didn't know he went to LC Bird.
Okay, because I remember your like Taylor team with Coach Sawyer. You snapped the streak. Were you on that team that snapped the streak?
Oh nope. I was gone. That was the year I was.
Oh, that was the year you were gone. So he might have the bragging rights with you head to head.
Yeah, he never he an older cat. I don't think we never played.
Oh, okay. So well, then he doesn't have any bragging rights with you. I love bringing out the books and what the books say. I think we did it last year when we had you in studio with the draft nicks and all that, and you sat right here and read it and took it. And I've got the Lindy's book. Do you want the Jalyn Holmes comment on in the book or no?
What book?
The preseason publication. They go through every NFL team and player and they give a little comment. Do you want the comment or do you not want the comment?
Well, you can read it.
Okay. Played end and tackle as a rookie. Vikings must finalize his best spot. Is that fair to say? It's been, I think, a plus for you that you can play end or tackle, but is that a fair thing to say or evaluation about your game right now?
I don't really think so. I just feel like I'm trusting in what the coaches are doing. I'm believing in what they got going on, and I feel like it's going to be a good plan. It's just for y'all to wait and see, really.
Okay. And to rewrite it then for me in one or two sentences, what would you say about yourself right now as a football player that kind of is your niche or sets you apart? How would you kind of break it down?
I want to say a smart football player, trustworthy, and just a guy that can get the job done. I feel like this is a year for me, to really have a good year and to help the Vikings, win a division. That's our first goal. And just I feel like I got to be that player to help us win games.
A few more minutes here with Jalyn Holmes of the NFL's Minnesota Vikings on the 757 at 6 on ESPN Radio 94.1. Jalyn out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk and the Ohio State University has his House You're Gonna Eat football camp coming to Lake Taylor on June the 22nd. JalynHolmesFootballCamp.com for more information about that. The coaching staff, tell me a little bit about your coaches there. How similar or different are they from what you had at Lake Taylor with Hank Sawyer and the staff and Urban Meyer and the staff at Ohio State?
I would say at Ohio State, Coach Meyer was kind of more of an offensive coach. With the Vikings, man, because he loves his defense, and the coaches are pretty much kind of the same kind of intensity. But the coaches at the Vikings are a little bit more laid back and chill, but great coaching staff, and they do everything they can to help develop their players.
I feel like you're in a really unique situation because the Vikings have a pretty good culture. They've been winning before. They're just 2 seasons removed from an NFC championship game. And when everybody's healthy, this has the makings and a feel of a top 5 defense. You got a lot of Pro Bowlers or Pro Bowl caliber players there with Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith on the back end, Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks at linebacker, even that D-line with Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, and Daniel Hunter. How do you feel about it?
Big a great team, man. Great group. I really want to say it's just a great group of guys on the team. Everybody's kind of team first, man, and they're all about getting each other better. Like I said, I was blessed with a great group of veterans. They never hesitate to help you. They're always there to help you with little things, and just me getting there trying to learn a playbook. The guys that you named, they was the first guys to try to help you out through everything. So I feel like we got a great group. We got a great group, and we got the sky's the limit for us, really.
Are you glad you walked into a situation where there are some veterans at that position? Okay, you don't play right away all the time, but you did get your feet wet, and those guys are a little bit older, so your time's coming.
Yeah, I really feel like it's a great situation. I still got time to develop, and I have a chance to also have a team at the same time. At first, it kind of seems like it kind of sucks, but when you look back on it, it's like I'm really learning from the best players in the NFL, and I'm learning from genuine people. So I just try to take in everything they tell me and just try to do what they tell me to do.
Last two for you, Jalyn, and I appreciate your time. Who have you leaned on for advice, be it people that are in your inner circle, your coaches, teammates, players in the league? Who have you leaned on and turned to for some advice as you go through this journey in the NFL?
I lean on a lot my family. Everybody, there's a lot of people in my family I can name, man. But for number one thing, it's just my family. I go to them a lot. I go to them about a lot of things, and my financial advisor, me and him talk every other day. So those two people, man, my financial advisor and my family, they're the main people I go to. And then on the team, I could name a lot of group of guys that I can just go to about anything, and they're willing to help me.
Good deal. And lastly, if someone wants to get involved in terms of helping you with things with the camp, how can they do so? Is there any way they can reach out or get a hold of helping with the camp?
Actually, right now, as far as the volunteers, man, we all locked in. So right now, I appreciate the offers are trying to help, but right now we all kind of locked in. I got a lot of people that signed up at one time. So I mean, for real, I'm at the point where people just want to come out and just enjoy the vibe and just cheer these kids on while they're at camp. I would love that.
Awesome. Well, again, JalynHolmesFootballCamp.com. It's a free camp for the kids, ages 11 to 17. It should be great for the community and area to see Jalyn coming back home and have the kids get an opportunity to see an NFL player and maybe be one themselves one day. It's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Lake Taylor High School on the 22nd of June. Jalyn, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.